All right, well, we're here for another episode of Collections. This is our first time doing like a double interviewee kind of situation, so very cool. Also, probably the first time we've seen like a combined closet situation as well, so we're kind of dipping into both of your closets here. But yeah, we saw some pieces in the shorter segment, but I'm excited to see more of like the bulk of your collection, you know, see what kind of themes we get into here. So I'll let you guys go ahead and get into it.
Cool. I'll start off. So probably the first 10 we're gonna show are obviously gonna be themed, as you will tell. But I'm gonna start off the theme, the Smashing Pumpkins, The World is a Vampire. This is lyrics from one of their songs, if you don't know the band that well, Melancholy and Infinite Sadness tour. But I want to start off with this out of all of them because once again, another one I got from my guy. I got this one in the classic poster, Melancholy, at the same time from him, and it kind of really sparked my interest for their tees in particular.
And this one is also Smashing Pumpkins from the early 90s, their Gish era. Really love this one with the devil on the front, and on the back side it has Mission to Mars. Big font. I just really love the graphic on this one, so cool.
Just a little fun fact, this was the first shirts they designed. They did this one on the back says Mission to Mars with the devil, and they did an angel one, which is, in my opinion, the most rare one. We do not own it. I'd really love to, so if anybody's watching. It says, on the front, it's basically the same thing. So Smash Pumpkins has the angel, and the back says altitude, not attitude. And from 91, just their first album they released, first merch. So that one always will hold a special place in my heart. She found that one, which makes it even better. So yeah, on to the next one, I guess. This one's just another one of their songs. This is a single. It's probably one of like the least coveted shirts by them, but it's just got the little SP on the sleeve. It's the song Zero. I've had this one for a while. I think I got this for like 20 bucks on eBay back in the day. Probably one of the only ones I bought because 20 bucks, I mean, hey.
Then we have another one. I think we got this one from Mason. Has the front, and then on the back it says just say maybe. And
That's a
this
cool
is
one.
on a giant tag as well.
Would you say here in Indy, when people find these like pumpkin tees, do they usually bring them to you guys to see if you want them?
If we're good homies, yeah. Like almost all of the pumpkins, we've pulled maybe like 3 of them, and then or we've pulled 4 of them and probably had like 8 from really close friends for, you know, good deals as opposed to like buying online. So yeah, we're super lucky to have friends, you know, that care about what you care about, if that makes sense. They always look out. I was telling you off camera, our buddy has one I don't have in the stack that we're actively working out in something on. So yeah, they always look out. I mean, honestly, this one right here, the next one, I got this one from our friend Brian Reup, Reup 317. Smash Pumpkins with the barcode on the head. There's really not too much to say about this one. This one isn't super album related as far as I know. It's just like a really crazy graphic, and I like the back a lot because relatable, but just says leave me alone, honestly. I had 2 of these. I hate to admit I lost one. I don't know, we moved and stuff happens and I lost one. I had 2, both from friends, so I don't know which one I hold on to. I think that's Reup's, but regardless, we got this next one from Reup as well. Good friends.
Infinite Sadness tour. Love the front. 1996.
You talk about a long tour.
Another long tour.
Those dates are that's crazy to go from 95 to 97. That's, yeah, I can't remember how many. It was over 100 stops that they made on that tour. Yeah.
Great album, that's why. Great album.
Yeah, it makes sense.
We like all their stuff, but this album, hands down, I mean, if you've heard it, you know. They just have a very wide genre. They have some harder stuff, some really soft stuff. I mean, my favorite song is Beautiful from it. It's very like a slow pace, kind of. Just makes you happy, puts a smile on your face, truly. So yeah.
And this shirt has a good memory because I was wearing it when Austin proposed to me.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah.
This is probably my favorite one to wear, like actually wear. This is called the Rat Smoking Hookah one, basically. But again, from the Infinite Sadness tour, because they did a lot of merch for that. It's pretty faded, so I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just a rat smoking a hookah on the front, with just some like random stuff going on in the background. I just love the way this one looks. It's in its fade. Even when they're not faded, it just has like a great look to it. And then I like the back again a lot. They did really good back hits on their shirts, I feel like. It's just the skull and crossbones. Yeah, I got this one from Bailey. So yeah, all these are either from friends or pulled. So I'm just, grateful to have them, truly. But that's the last of the pumpkins besides the ones we showed in a closer look. Yeah.
Next up is this Romp Zombie. Big face, big graphic. And then on the back side it says 100% hardcore, flesh eating, blood drinking, life sucking, zombie motherfucker.
And this is one that has a lot of variations too, right? Like, doesn't it have like a couple different colors on the back and?
So the front's pretty standard. They always have the same front, but on the back side, around the obviously curse word part, they change it up. Some have this gone, I believe, if I remember correctly, like not there at all, and then some have it uncensored. And yeah, the different ways they do the back actually plays into price, which is kind of funny to think, but yeah, they do. So it's a cool one. I just like the way it looks a lot. I mean, he has some good songs. He's not my favorite, if I'm being completely honest, as far as like top 5 bands go from the 90s, but he's definitely top 10. So I liked his movies a lot, honestly, which is kind of why I appreciate his music, because he kind of made like music for the movies in a sense, which was cool. But this is another Rob Zombie. Not much else to say really. Kind of the same look as the other one. I like this one more like wearable for me because it's just like more plain. I'm more of a plain kind of guy. And then the back I think is just like really cool. Presented in Satan-O-Phonic dynamic high fidelity. Just really cool. Yeah, I'm a huge sucker for like boxed graphics. When things are boxed in, kind of like held to a limit. So I just think this one looks great. And I'm kind of going to breeze by it, but just a different faded version of that same shirt.
Exact same shirt, yeah.
Yeah, I just like it a lot.
Next up is a Soundgarden with the question mark. The backside's really cool.
Got a sleeve hit too. Mm-hmm. What does it say?
Super Unknown.
Super Unknown, Soundgarden, okay, gotcha. It's cool. It looks like the like parental advisory logo kind of thing going on there. It's also like I feel like a lot of these like color like blue, red, like you don't really see t-shirts like band tees are usually like white or black or gray.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I love seeing those.
This like graphic in particular they made on random colors, like you said, they made that in red. I want to say I've seen a green version. I can't be 100% sure, but I was telling him off camera, personally, one of my least favorite Soundgarden shirts, graphic-wise, but, in this community, you can't really be too choosy. So we really like the band, we really like the album, and we had the opportunity to get it for a fair price. So I was just like, you know what, let's get it, because we got others. So this one, same album, Super Unknown. The shirt did not come bleached. It's a solid black shirt. Somebody did their thing on it, which, that's cool. I wish it wasn't bleached, but we can't win them all. Super Unknown, it's the screaming guy on the front. Kind of hard to tell with the bleach, but the back says Super Unknown. This is probably my favorite out of all of them. I just really like the shirt. Album's super good. I'm pretty sure all of our shirts are from like the Super Unknown era. We don't have any bad Motorfinger if you're a Soundgarden fan, sorry. But yeah, we get them where we can, so.
This is our last Soundgarden shirt we have. This is the back side, actually. We got this one from our friend Justin. And the front has them standing on the corner.
Even though this one's like the most plain, like I said, we got this from our friend Justin, so it's not like we were like seeking him out or anything. This is one of the ones I've seen like lesser. Like I've not seen too many people have these. Not saying, it reflects anything, but I'm just saying like, it's a cool one. I'm glad we have it. I'm glad our friend let us get it. So cool, yeah. So continually going with the music stuff. I'm gonna start off with the Jane's Addiction. I actually just got this maybe like a month ago, and likewise with Smash Pumpkins, Jane's Addiction is probably like top 5 for us. We really like it, especially like Ritual, De La Habitual era, if you're familiar with the band. But this is from that era. I just love it. I mean, the graphic speaks for itself. I pulled this one, so I've wanted to find one for years, and it finally happened. So if you do what we do, it's just like a check off the list. I was stoked. I don't know. I just was super excited. I didn't tell her. I came home with it. I was so excited to show her this. I don't know, just cool tee. I don't really have too much to say about it. They make good music just like all these people I'm showing, and they got cool shirts.
And then if you flip it around, I'm not sure if you can see this, but on the back, it's got like this really cool fade to it. I always like when things are faded like that because it almost. Do you think it was like marble print like that, or is it like someone balled it up in their car and just had it?
I think somebody just wore it. It was probably just laying like this somewhere for a while. Because it was a solid black tee. If you see any of these online, sometimes they have back prints, sometimes they don't. But they're from '88, I believe, when the album released. And yeah, just solid black and with a crazy fade, which, like you said, we all appreciate. So
This is our other Jane's Addiction shirt. We got this one from our friend James.
yes.
On the back side.
Shout out to all the homies.
Yep, exactly. That's what it's about.
I love
honestly.
wearing this one.
Yeah, our friend James bought this for himself and fit too boxy for him, so he passed along the blessing. So
It's another Brockham.
Yep.
But on the newer Brockham tag. Or like more. I can never remember the eras of those two.
that one's the like late '80s, early '90s one. This one's like the
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later '90s one, basically. So kind of getting out of like the music stuff. Actually, that's a lie. I got one more. Sorry. Last music thing I should say. Getting into the early thousands, out of the '90s stuff, I should say. System of a Down, World Tour 2002. Us and a lot of our buddies that we hang out with a lot. We are really into System of a Down. Just all the music from that genre is super good. Tool, all that type of stuff. I have a couple Papa Roaches I'll spare you guys from looking at, but this is just a really cool one. System of a Down, they made great music. I like them in particularly because they made a lot of kind of like how I was saying with the shirts, kind of like in your face music. Like they would talk about like politics and just like what's wrong with the country and things like that. So yeah, they're great. I feel like their music stood the test of time.
I found this a few years ago, Crash Bandicoot.
Ooh, and it's got a good back hit.
Yep,
too.
the back is the best. Has a cool PlayStation hit too.
Did you grow up playing Crash Bandicoot?
I did not, but I did have a PlayStation 2, so I did play a lot of PlayStation games, but not this one.
I feel like Crash Bandicoot's one of those that I didn't play it either, but I know a lot of people that play it love that and they're diehard fans. And then there's others that I don't know why, I just appreciate the imagery of Crash Bandicoot, but yeah, I kind of wish I had played it more growing up because I feel like if I played it now, I'd like it, but it wouldn't be the same as growing up with Crash Bandicoot. But yeah, it's a graphic, and then the PlayStation also is something you can just appreciate, and yeah, having that official release kind of stuff is just the best.
Yeah.
Yep, Naughty Dog, Universal.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, that's in here because I played a lot.
So you played it.
I played it
Okay.
That's probably top 5 video games for me growing up.
Gotcha.
PS1, PS2 era, really good. When she found that one and I literally freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, I've always wanted that. So, cool to reminisce on nostalgic things. So,
Right.
yeah. This one you've probably seen a lot. It's just one of those tees that people like and people try to get, I guess. This one in particular, I know because of the fade at the bottom, I got from a buddy named Nick, Retro Co. I believe he traded it to my friend Bailey, and then I got it from him indirectly. But just really cool, and it speaks for itself. Donkey Kong 64. To be honest, never really got into 64 that much, but I was into more of the GameCube Donkey Kong type games and stuff. Used to main them and Smash and stuff, so just a cool one. Even if you don't like the game, you gotta like the shirt. You just gotta appreciate quality. They printed this so well. There's the green version I don't have, and a couple other Donkey Kong tees, but I think this one takes the cake for as far as graphic wise goes.
Next up, we have this original 2005 Saw shirt. And I just like this a lot because we watch Saw a lot together. Just like these movies.
Yeah, and movie promo, game promo, all that stuff is yeah. We've said it multiple times for different genres, but yeah, it's just always cool to get your hands on that stuff because I feel like you go to the mall and you can see different prints of music and movies, but to actually have the originals is very cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She kind of understated it. We've seen that series probably 6 times together. Every 2 years we'll just watch them all again because it was a really good series, honestly. Kind of keeping that theme going. Just another promo tee. This is Jay and Silent Bob. I got this from my buddy Mason at one of the vintage collectives. Just a really cool one. I watched this movie numerous times with my brother growing up. on Comedy Central. Just like most of these tees, just makes me feel like a really nostalgic feeling. Just reminds me of like good times with my brother and stuff. So I was wanting one forever, and I actually wanted this in particular one forever, like this exact shirt. But my friend Mason got it, and he wore it for about 2 years, and then finally sold it to me. So yeah, I'm just thankful to have it. The monkey, if you've seen the movie, hilarious. It's funny that the monkey's on the shirt, and it's got the graffiti hits and stuff. So I just really like it. This is one I wear a lot because it's more plain. Something like this you wouldn't ever really catch me in. But something like this you've probably seen me in already. So yeah.
Okay, next up we have this Adam Sandler shirt, which is really weird to see because I don't know, you just don't really see Adam Sandler shirts like ever.
At a local college like that, very cool.
And on the back side it says security.
Yeah, I was gonna say like maybe you'd see like a movie promo for Adam Sandler, but I don't think I've ever seen, or like yeah, you just don't see it very often.
It's like stand-up or something, maybe?
Yeah.
That's what I can only assume.
It was from a stand-up tour when he toured to Purdue, but it's just weird that it's security, honestly. That's the reason we really like it. It just sells it to us because, you know, how many really could be out there if it's security working at Purdue, Indiana, like or Purdue University, whatever, Lafayette. But and to what you were saying, like you would think to see him on like a movie shirt, but even if you think about Adam Sandler like movie promos, I've never seen like a Happy Gilmore or, you know, anything along those lines. He's just like one of those people that if you enjoy him, he's hard to rep. He's hard to find a cool shirt of or something. So
yeah.
And everybody likes Adam Sandler. I feel like he's just a likable person. So I guess I mixed these up poorly, but back to the music. Besides Smashing Pumpkins, probably my top two bands from the 90s would be Red Hot and Smashing. Unfortunately, this is the only Red Hot shirt I have. Fortunately, I pulled it myself, so it just like holds like a dear place in my heart. I almost sold it for like way too cheap like when I first pulled it, and luckily the buyer backed out, and I'll forever be grateful that buyer backed out because I would have been so sad. But yeah, I mean, this is just from 1990, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, big logo on the back. It's got all the band members, Anthony Kiedis right there on the front. Yeah, I mean, not much else to say. Smashing Pumpkins, I got into super late in life, but this, I was a huge fan. When they came out with Stadium Arcadium, not to beat a dead horse, but it's just very nostalgic for me with my brother. Stadium Arcadium was just like an album we listened to all the time together. And yeah, I mean, everybody knows a Red Hot song, whether you want to admit it or not. So they're just, you know who they are basically when you see it, so.
And this one's nostalgic for me because Destiny's Child, I loved them growing up.
Also one you don't see very often.
No, you don't. And it has the back tour date, 2001.
That's a newer shirt for us, honestly. We probably got that like 2-3 months ago.
Yeah.
One of our buddies was wearing it. Like, she's a girl, and I was like, man, Kelsey has always wanted one of those shirts ever since we've been doing this. I was like, if you ever, like, some point in the next couple of years get tired of that shirt, I was like, I'll buy it from you. I was like, I'm not trying to buy it right now, but, you know, whenever you decide it's time to let it go. And 2 days later, she came. She's like, hey, I washed that shirt if you want to buy it. I was like, you do not have to tell me twice. I was thinking it was going to be like 2-3 years down the line, but I was like, cool. So she sold it to me, and, you know, like she said, it's very nostalgic for her, so I was happy to get hooked up from the friend, honestly. So this next one, this is an artist called Stein. I have probably like 4 or 5 of his shirts, but this one's my favorite. It's kind of, you can kind of decipher it very quickly. Obviously, it's like Reach for the Stars. This is the first one I got. I probably have a couple different like renditions of this shirt where like this part is like a different color. Yeah, he just makes really cool stuff. If you've never heard of him, I would suggest looking him up. He makes very simple art. A lot of his shirts are boxes with very simple but straightforward and really good meanings. My other one that I honestly should have brought out says like, you are where you're supposed to be, and if you aren't, you weren't, or you wouldn't be, basically. And I just really like shirts like that are like, just, you know, you're doing the right thing, keep at it, reach for the stars. He's a very positive artist, which I enjoy. Very easy to consume for like somebody that doesn't care about stuff like that. So yeah, this one, another one of those shirts I probably wear like at least once a month. Yeah.
Okay. We have an Alice in Chains shirt. It's only a front graphic. Has a sunflower, it's super faded.
Yeah, this one's got some wear to it.
One one of the more distressed tees we own.
What's the tag on this one?
Nice, man.
Nice, man. I thought so. A slept-on tag. Slept-on t-shirts, honestly. They make really good... they fit really well.
Yeah. Probably like the hardest to find music-wise. I mean, in my opinion, I found way less nice mans than like Giants and Brockrams or whatever you want to say. But really good one, though. Sadly, the only Alice in Chains we have. Another one for us, like couple-wise, probably like a top 5 band that we listen to together. Yeah. So on to the next one, just another movie promo. Honestly, I haven't seen this movie in years, but I remember watching it a few times growing up. Not super nostalgic for me, but how could you be mad at a shirt like this? It's Fight Club with Brad Pitt, and I just really like it because of the back hit. I can't read them for obvious reasons, but they're the rules. I don't want to break any of them, so I can't read them. But really good shirt. I mean, if you've seen the movie, you know. Pretty sought after shirt, surprisingly. Once again, Kelsey pulled it, bless me, because I get pulled on all the time by her. But really cool shirt. Just one you don't see too much. And we just really like. We've had this probably for like 3-4 years now. It's one that a lot of my friends probably don't know I have. So if you're watching this, cool.
That's why we're doing this.
Yeah. Not one we talk about much. Like everybody knows we got the pumpkins and stuff, but you know what I mean.
I found this a few years ago too. Beastie Boys. Really good graphic on this one. Check your head.
This might be my favorite one of your guys'.
Yeah.
All of them so far. The back hit on that one is crazy.
The Beastie Boys. Yeah, that's the best era too, in our opinion. The check your head era of them. But.
And the tag on this one's orange. So orange chains.
Yeah, that's like that, and like it's not like see-through, but it's just so like thin and like the perfect print. I love when artists like include their names on it. I really like this one. That's probably my favorite so far that we've seen. Is it a winter one?
Yeah, but it's on a Hanes, so it's insanely boxy, of course.
That's a cool one. Did you guys pull that one?
Yeah, she pulled that one and the next one, which you might as well show because they go together. I like this one a lot just because, like, what the heck? It's an Israeli tour of the Beastie Boys. Everything's written in, I assume Israeli. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know the language, but it was in Israel. They did Hebrew. Yep. That's probably right. I think they did, when we looked it up, 4 or 5 shows over there. I could be mistaken, but super weird one. One you just don't see like online much. So when we found it, we honestly had to do our research ourselves. But yeah, she pulled it again because Beast, but
Beast.
So we like those. Those are our 2 favorite Beastie Boys. We have some others, but they're more, more of the ones you see on the average. This, again, probably like a top 5 tee for me if I had to choose like 5 shirts to wear. I got this from my buddy Justin indirectly. My friend Justin pulled it. It says, Marilyn Manson, if you meet your master today, kill him. I don't really want to break down that quote, but I just think it's a wild quote, and it's the dude holding the puppeteer. Once again, Marilyn Manson, I don't want to talk too much about him right now, but he had a lot of like in-your-face kind of like political statement music. So people really love him or really hate him. He's kind of one of those people with a cult following. But for me, once again, before I show you, the backside's kind of like you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, depending on the person you are. But the backside, to me, makes the shirt. It's the reason I wanted it so bad for my buddy. But it's very relevant today. Kind of speaks for itself. I don't want to say too much about it because it is what it is. But,
Did you know the tee existed before they pulled it, or did you want it after it was pulled?
I saw it online like once or twice. This was probably like 4 years ago. I've had the shirt for a while, but I've seen it once or twice. Always wanted one of his shirts because I think this was my first one, if I'm not mistaken. And my buddy pulled it, and I happened to be there at the time. And oddly enough, my buddy that pulled it, we couldn't work out a deal on it, and he sold it to my buddy that does eBay stuff. So my friend that does eBay bought it, and he sold it. He does auctions, so it sold on auction for what I offered my friend for it. So basically, it worked out in some weird universal way that I got it for what I wanted to pay for it. But sorry to our other friend that paid over that and made less money, but thank you because I got the tee. So
Pulled in Indiana, went to another part of Indiana, and then went right back to where it came from in Indiana. That's just kind of how it works out.
yeah, which is awesome. I mean, it's awesome when you can hook up friends, you know. So went from one friend to another friend. So yeah,
Cool to see that process.
Yeah. And then the final piece, Sailor Moon all over. And we actually have a t-shirt, but I just like this. It's a long sleeve fitted baby tee.
Is it something you get wear out of a lot, or?
I actually have never wore this before, but I just really like the graphic of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I have similar tees like this that I will wear.
Yeah, she wears the like shirts we have, but not really that one too much. But we wanted to show this one off because you can see the tees online all day, whatever. But this one is one that we really haven't seen too many other people have. Just an odd to see like a women's all over print like that, to be honest. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's really what this is about, is seeing the tees that you don't see online all day long. So yeah, I really appreciate getting to see this. I know this is like that small percentage of your guys' collection, but I appreciate you guys digging deep and finding the ones that you don't see on YouTube, Instagram, you know, all that stuff. So appreciate getting to see your guys' collection.
Just collect what you like. I mean, it's easy to get wrapped up in the hype, and don't get me wrong, like a lot of this is like hype stuff, but at the end of the day, like the only reason to collect or do something that you enjoy is because of the reasons you enjoy it. So I don't know, that's really all I have to say. Just do what you want. Everybody says that, and take that as you will, but yeah, just don't get wrapped up into the price of things or anything like that. It's always better to hook up a friend and have good business with like people around you than to try to get one over on like somebody. That's just word to the wise for anybody that wants to do this for a job or for fun or for hobby. Just really appreciate, it's less about the clothes and more about the people around you, as we found out throughout the years.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys again for letting us see your collection. And again, as always, take a look at all the other videos that we have here on our channel, and hopefully we see you guys in the next collective, the next collections episode we do with you, whatever it is. Always a pleasure getting to sit down with you guys and chat.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.